The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. Yes, the nation has been closed by order of its deity, the Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue prefer to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma. That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of the Inazuma Bakufu, people call her the Raiden Shogun. But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree. Yes, it was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of a statue of the thousand-armed, hundred-eyed god. I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity. The Anemo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto heaven. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel. Although it is only half full, it is also forever half full. That is to say, it is bottomless. If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, then the next object we find will belong to Miss Wanyan, according to the contract agreed upon. Indeed, but the god of salt imbued it with another power. When you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt, much like a rising tide covers the earth. The deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear. It is essentially a bumper harvest of salt. Well then, according to our contract, the salt ruler goes to Miss Wanyan. So you are saying you want to break the contract? Because you agreed to a contract. Rex Lapis once said, "Ones who break their contracts shall suffer the wrath of the rock." Will suffer the wrath of the rock. You may find it rather unpleasant. I shall confiscate your treasure as well. You are not worthy to continue any further into the ruin. Leave this place. I think we should be honest with each other now. That in truth, not a single member of this archaeological expedition came here for archaeology. Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge and can recognize naught but a few simple relics. However, you are an expert when it comes to anything regarding the god of salt. You aren't interested in archaeology or relics. What you're really interested in is the god of salt. I believe those legends about the god of salt that you mentioned on the Pearl Galley are passed down between generations at Yinyuan Hall. Naturally, of course. But I must add, Liyue is no longer Morax's Liyue. Come with me. All the answers you seek lie ahead. 2 pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological perspective, these are 2 separate relics. According to the contract, you can only claim 1. When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to slide. If the contract is not followed, then it is broken. So you are already decided? Then there is a price to pay for breaking the contract. That is to say, you consign yourself to suffer the wrath of the rock. Perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. But, as punishment, I will tell you the truth. Yes, the truth that I am about to tell you shall be your price to pay for breaking the contract. I'm afraid to say that the god of salt, Havria, was not the powerful god you imagine her to be. Rather, she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war, she lost, never able to win a seat among the 7. During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning to vie for control of Teyvat. But Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, she could save herself and her people from the war. However, during such a long war, there is no end to the advances of aggressors. After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands, until only one small haven remained. In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people with. This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead the murder weapon used to kill her. As I said before, I only state the facts. It is a punishment after all. I did not want to tell her such cruel facts, but the contract was broken. Let's follow her deeper into the ruin. There, I fear, we will find something that will leave her no choice but to face the truth. Salt. And betrayal. Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this door will show you all that happened back then. This is the scene of the crime. Havria's body dissipated, leaving nothing but these traces of salt. Her dying moments have since been frozen in time to this very day. The story continues that some among her people realized at last that this gentle, kind, but weak god could never protect anyone in wartime.